All right, all right, all right. Kansept. Kansept Knives, new brand out. Went and saw their booth 2020 SHOT Show and met Joyce. And Joyce sent me a couple of knives. Check them out. These are prototypes. They're big knives. They're designed by a certain gentleman you might recognize, Willumsen, and he makes knives that look like this. I mean, he does. You look at his different designs that he's done for various collaboratives and this and that, or his own custom ones, and yes, you can kind of spot them. These are interesting. They're fascinating. They're not lightweights, that's for sure. These are not little light gent carry knives. So get that out of your head right away. Whew. This one is a G10 one, and it says Gas Giant. And I'm trying to kind of dance around that because it's not going to be Gas Giant. So it'll be nice to possess these knives. These are the Gas Giant that never was, right? Because when I posted these on Instagram, I didn't know any better. I just figured Gas Giant. But Mikkel chimed in and said, it's going to be called Hellx. So this is going to be called Hellx. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the final production knife looks like, because there may be some changes made. Right now, these are S35VN blades on that. And this, of course, is D2 stone washed. This is G10 with steel liners and a G10 backspacer, okay? This is titanium backspacer. Okay, titanium pocket clip, looks like right hand only. Stonewash S35VN, like I said before. So there you go. And then there's their model number, K11008 Alpha 1 there, buddies. So this is a frame lock, of course. Hardened steel insert over travel stop, ceramic bearings, ceramic detent ball, integrated lanyard slot that will hold about 3 good-sized lanyards all at once, won't they? And you got this cutaway on this lock bar here. You can see your blade. Full-length backspacer, pretty much. So nothing, your finger's not going to come through and touch the blade. Probably wouldn't anyhow. But it really finishes the look of the knife. Not too shabby. Pocket clip, take a look at that. Under here, not really a ball, but a ball-shaped piece under there. And I think I carried this once or twice. Didn't notice any problems in and out of the pocket, although my pockets are all destroyed. They're all frayed up and pretty much destroyed by all the different knives that go in and out of them. So I can't really give you a testimonial in that regard. You've got jimping just a little and some on top of the blade here. So I thought I'd put both of them in. I mean, what's the point of doing one and then turning around and doing another video on the titanium model? I'll take one of these apart because they'll probably be pretty similar in that regard. They look centered up. I don't have any lock, rock, or blade play, any of that kind of shenanigans. Okay. Drop. It's over the detent ball there. So when I kick this lock bar away, and there's your pass through here, when I kick that lock bar away and that flipper tab hits me on the thumb, that's it. It's over. And it drops away pretty nicely. Here's the flow of the design. So it does flow into this bolster. And in here, I'd say they made pretty good use of the available handle length for the blade. So not bad there. And let's put a tape on it, and then I'll throw a couple of knives out here for size comparison. You get down, you got 3 3/4 inches cutting length, correct? Okay. 4 inches kind of to right there. You can see at the beginning of that, or mid choil. So about 100 millimeters. And as you move up, well, then you could, it just depends on where on the bolster you want to plant your flag, because this could be 3.65 inches or, 3.85 inches, however you want to do it. So anywhere from 95 to 100 millimeters blade length, and then 8.85 inches overall, just under 9, and 22.5 centimeters. Okay, and it should be the exact same, just pretty much just different materials, but it should be. And yes, okay, yes, so the same. Now, fatness. Okay, only a 1/2 inch. Really, I was kind of surprised there. 13 millimeters, not all that fat. 3.8 millimeter blade stock at 0.15. Try it here, should be about the same. Yeah, there you go. 0.15, 3.8, 3.9, whatever. And 13.3, a little bit thicker. 0.52. So, okay, just a tad bit. Now, if you compare it with just a standard Manix 2, well, it's way bigger. It's way bigger. This is like 8 inches. This is almost 9. The Vexer I have, Civivi Vexer. Sometimes I show it, people go, what was that? What was that one you brought in? Civivi Vexer. Woo, we're there, aren't we? We're pretty much neck and neck. Civivi Vexer is a big knife. Big knife. One of my favorites. Spyderco Endura. Yeah, well, the Endura is a big knife, isn't it? So, not far off of there. How about my Reich Thule? The Thule's a big knife, but not quite as big. And it's a G10 integral. Kind of interesting with that. But no, so these are pretty good sized knives, just under 9 inches. Pocket clip, right hand tip up only. Don't see a left hand option on the G10 version either, although this is steel. These are steel liners. G10. And I think that I saw a posting on the Kansept Knives Facebook page, and you can take a look as well, where Joyce posted another picture of another G10 option. So it may have been, I think it was black G10, and then the liners were blue. And I think there's some people that just don't like colored liners. They don't. And if you don't, then you don't. Really, to me, this does not bother me. That the gold sets off the blue. I think it's attractive. When you get into just, depending on what these are going to be priced at and how much of a user knife this is going to be, getting tossed around and used real out there in the real world, I don't know. So, what makes sense for, colored liners or no, and how easy does this scrape up? I don't know. Good question. So, ergos seem relatively good here. I mean, your hand's flexible. This first choil here, not bad, and your fingers get out there. Not bad at all. Reverse grip, actually more comfortable. It's more comfortable, the reverse grip, than this forward grip. Now, you can go right up here, and then bigger hands can get on here too. Up here, I'm being pushed in a bit by right here. That's kind of my end point, so I feel that kind of pushing everything together, which gives you good purchase on the knife, but also doesn't really let you spread out. So, okay. And is it sharp? I don't know if it's worth worrying about with a prototype, but yeah, it is. And yeah, both of them pretty sharp. Well, folks, let's have a weigh off, right? 6.17 ounces. Titanium version, 6.35 ounces. 180 grams. These are not lightweights. 174, 175 grams. So, yeah, they're over 6 ounces. Flipper tab, pretty intuitive. Yes, I can feel it. Lazy flip kicks it open. At least it does on the G10 one. Let's check this out. Can I fail it? Come on, fail me. Okay, yes. And, oh yeah, different sound, isn't it? Listen to the sound. That's different. That's a different sound than this one. Yeah, different sound. But they both roll right out with authority. I guess piercing, slicing, you know, you could do that with this. And the tip is not too delicate. Got this swedge coming down, kind of reinforces here. You know, it looks pretty sturdy. And, you know, 3.8 millimeter blade stock, you know, it's pretty good right there. So, I don't know if I'd want the detent any stronger. Okay, I could flick that out. That's about a little over a 4, maybe. Let's see what this is. A little stronger. This one's a little bit stronger. Maybe a 4.5 on my detent scale. It does feel a little bit stronger, but none of these two are. Well, that's pretty good. So yeah, only way I can knock it out of here is this way. Not this way. Can't do it that way. So yeah, it's pretty reasonable. It's where it needs to be. You can go with a little stronger detent when you don't have any thumb studs or cutaways for finger flicking. Then you can stand to do a little stronger detent. And these are, yeah, this one is definitely much lighter than this one. So 4.5 to 4.7. This, I think the design on these knives will be something where you're going to be attracted to it or not. I mean, a lot of the Willumsen designs I find very intriguing. And maybe some other people not so much. Because I don't know, you know, can you say this is a sensible design? Maybe. Maybe. It feels pretty sensible like this. It really does. This, I feel like I'm behind the blade a long way because of this stretch here. I'm way back here. Where on some knives, maybe up here, you know, I feel like I'm really on top of that blade much more than here. You see what I'm saying? I'm really just right over there. And here I'm over and down and around. I'm traveling, trying to get to the cutting edge. So I feel like I'm pushed back behind it. But they do give you the opportunity to get right up on it. So no, now you are right up on it. Two different kinds of areas to be able to hold the knife and use the knife for different reasons. There's a balance point right there. And not too bad. Yeah, a little heavy. Really, it's such a big knife. I don't really feel the weight that much. It's dispersed throughout the length of this knife. So it doesn't really feel that unreasonable to me. So let's pick us a knife to pull apart. You know, I can't remember if I've even got into these yet. So these look like they're number 8s all the way through here. Well, let's see where we are. Let's see if we can pull it apart, and if so, from where. Okay, so we've got the screw coming out here. You know, when you have a round pivot, the whole thing rotates. It's a little maddening, but as long as you've got access to both sides, you can stabilize it and break it loose. So apparently the screw came out the front. So let's take the rest of the knife apart that way, front first, and there's one screw. There's another one, and they look like the same size, so that's not a big deal. And let's see if this comes apart, and it does very easy. And ceramic bearings that look still pretty well lubricated, that's for sure. They weight relieved it a lot. That feels pretty light. There's our blade. That feels pretty heavy. That's just a big old, it's a tall blade and it's a thick blade. So really, when you get down to these scales, that really doesn't feel that heavy. Okay, so we got a round pivot, doggone it. And then we got weight relieving in here. That's really good. And then hardened steel insert with ceramic detent over travel stop. And then ceramic bearings. And here's our pivot. And let me see if we got a one piece, or it looks like a one piece. Best I can see through the camera. So looks like a one piece, comes in through the front. So that's good. I mean, it looks clean. It's probably been taken apart and put back together several times. What do you think? There's your stop. It's stuck in this side. But you know what? To hell with it. Let's stick it back together. I don't think I need to do much anymore in here. And there's this. Of course, there's your back spacer right there. Okay. And you can see the screws coming through from the other side for the pocket clip right there. So, not complicated. Oh, I've already got my bearings in here, and they look gooped up enough. So there we go. And here we go. Kick it in. Yeah, this is real easy to disassemble. Okay, get me straightened out here. Okay. Throw this in. Back to center. Any blade play? No. Nice drop. Yeah, good. So we're left with the Hellx twins here. One in titanium, one in G10. Put comments in the comment section, you know, that Kansept people can read, and if you know, there's certain things that you would like to change about this setup on this knife. Maybe some jimping on the flipper tab. Maybe you want thumb studs on it. Maybe you want a cutaway in the blade. Maybe you don't like the cutaway back here. You know, maybe you don't like the handle shape. I mean, just, you know, do whatever you want and give them your input. I mean, that's what they're looking for. That's the whole purpose of sending prototypes out to put on air, get people's impressions and understand what your, you know, what your enthusiast market is looking for and what their likes and dislikes are. So there you go, folks. I think it's fascinating. You know, they're putting out some really good stuff. And of course, the Delta, which is also a prototype that they sent to me, is, you know, beautiful knife. And of course, it's Jelly Jerry design. really nice, and this will have changes made to it by the time it comes out as a full production model. But really, really nice looking design. So we got Kansept, at least two different models, the Hellx and the Delta here. What do you think? I think one thing for sure, I'm going to let you go. We love them knives, and you guys stay sharp.